Hello YouTube, coming at you with another player demonstration video here. I got this from Japan the other day, and before I put it like in my setup, I figured that I should make a quick video showing that this player does exist, because I couldn't find any information on the internet about this one. This is actually take 2 of a video that I tried yesterday in the shed when I had this on the bench for general cleaning, but I was pretty dehydrated and all that, and now I'm better rested, so hopefully that means that's going to mean a better video. So what we have here, this is a Betamax, if you could not guess at this point. This is the SL-F11. If you know anything about beta decks, you might have noticed that this bears a striking resemblance, to the SL-2500, and you'd be right, because this is basically the same chassis, with one important difference. This one can do stereo, and it's not hi-fi, so that means this is a linear stereo unit. Yeah, basically, at least in the US, Beta seemingly just jumped from mono to hi-fi stereo, unlike VHS, which had like a very short linear stereo section of its history before the hi-fi stuff came out. Beta, it seemingly just jumped right into hi-fi, but there are industrial units that can do linear stereo, and in Japan, it seems like there were a couple of consumer VCRs that could do the linear stereo, this being one of them. So I want to show this in operation. So, of course, power button. Here's your front hinge. Obviously all the buttons are going to be in Japanese, so I can't tell you what they actually mean, but I mean, the symbols here are kind of self-explanatory to anyone in the US. And this hinge opens, and you're greeted with all these. It's going to be the same stuff as the 2500. The only exception is that these these switches here, this one is for the monitor output, so you can have it set to stereo or left or right channel individually. This switch here, the BNR switch, that seems to be a kind of noise reduction, because if you put it on, the audio, it's kind of like putting a non-Dolby noise reduction track through noise reduction. It just kind of mutes it a little bit. That's what I noticed that the BNR switch does, so I'm just going to leave that off for all my tapes. So, it's actually... And yeah, here are the manuals that came with this, and I also was lucky enough to get the remote. Yeah, this unit is basically shown as working. The only thing that the auction list mentioned was that it said that it took a while to like load or something like that. But I mean, every time I play it, it's been golden. So, and on this chassis, what's unique is you saw that door flap. On this chassis, when you insert a cassette, this door comes up and it blocks you from like mistakenly trying to insert another beta cassette. It's kind of similar to I got a tape partially stuck in there now, but it's kind of similar idea to like the Zenith VR4000 VHS VCR, except there's on this one there's a whole nother door that and there's no like internal flap on the inside that's like just blocking the door from opening. So as you probably heard over my talking, the tape did thread inside. It is literally the same as its SL-2500. So, and there are videos on YouTube showing that with the threading and all. So I have James Fonda's new workouts. Now, even though it does have hi-fi stereo, it's not like VHS, because even VHS you know, when they just switch to just hi-fi, the tapes will still have like the linear track in stereo. I mean, probably just more of a result of they just happened to be on record on VCRs that had the linear stereo option, but because the professional units kept linear stereo until the very end, funny enough. But in beta, I mean, only a couple of industrial models can do the linear stereo track, and one that I know of that can do both hi-fi and linear stereo. This unit does have a switch on the back. Maybe I can just... So these are the outputs. Obviously video out, your audio outs, and you got audio, video and audio ins. But this switch here is a PCM switch. So that basically just turns on and off the dropout compensator. So I got the PCM switch on. And yeah, I'm recording this at 11 a.m. so sorry for the reflections on my TV. And I just turned it off. Okay. Not many dropouts on this tape to really show. So you got your indicator switches, beta 1, beta 2, beta 3. This is the beta 2 tape, so it's going to light on beta 2. This is tracking, this knob here. It's not the most convenient to grab, because I basically got, I'm finding that I got, I don't know, it's not the best. I find I can't get like a good grip on it. I gotta like do this with my thumb, which I don't really like. This one does have a time indicator, which my beta unit, the HF300, did not. So I kind of like having these. It's kind of like a blessing and curse, because it's nice to know how far I am into like my session with the tape. But then again, if it's a movie that's really bad, I'm just looking at that thing, just counting down the minutes until the movie's over. So, all right. So I got that at Unity. This one, I think this one is a softness and sharpness. Like some of these, I mean, the HF300 has it. But I mean, turning it, I don't see like any difference in the picture quality. All right, so of course you have your rewind, fast forward, obviously. You have pause here, and it'll give you a nice freeze frame, basically. Now I can't remember. Can I just press? Okay, so it's like the 300 where you have to press pause again in order to get out of pause. And the remote does work. Oh, focus. Yeah. Oh, come on. If you're wondering how much I spent to get this over here, the unit itself was only like $44. Buy it now on Mercari, Japan. With the, you know, it had a video, not video, it had pictures showing that it was playing back the image, and this is the eject. There we go. It was like $44, free shipping from Mercari, Japan to get it to the Zen Market warehouse, and then the shipping was like basically just under $100. And I also had 4 VHDs shipped with this guy just to get some out of the warehouse. One of them being a copy of Basket Case, which it's still floored that no one on Mercari Japan bought that before I did. Just floored. So I have to make a hi-fi demonstration tape going in because I want to show that this is like, okay. A little technical difficulties there. I'm sorry about that. It's going to play, right? Okay, it is. I'm gonna have to fast forward to like an actual interesting part because it's just a bunch of blah 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 blah. So what's interesting about this one is that even though this was meant for hi-fi, to actually show you the aspects of hi-fi, the linear track is actually in stereo. You might hear it on my phone here.
Sound has a look all its own. but it never looked like much on a home video cassette recorder because it never sounded like much.
Of course, kind of unfortunate that all those are on the screen. I ever have to turn the volume up and down. But yeah, if it's not picking up on my microphone on my phone, this is indeed playing in stereo, and it is very nice. I mean, this was a nice tape to show, you know, the stereo effects, and it definitely still shows on the linear tracks. All right. I will say, it's not. If you, what am I trying to say? On some, you know, VCRs, depending on how the micro processor works, you know, if you're done, you know, after watching a tape and you hit the eject button, and then you could hit the power off so that once the eject function, the eject mode is done, the VCR is turned off. This one, I did that yesterday, and it did just stop in the middle of what it was doing, and it took a little bit to get the tape out. So don't press this button unless you are absolutely, you know, unless the eject mode is absolutely done. But those were Beta 2 tapes. Let's get a Beta 3 tape out to show you, or at least a tape that still is not giving me, you know, any indication that it wants to play 100%. I think this. So Beta 3. And yeah, on this tape, I noticed it was the same on my 300. The tracking just kind of seems to be variable throughout. Like, I am currently adjusting the knob, but the tracking is still doing that. So I don't know. I mean, if it's happening on two VCRs, you would have to guess that it would indicate that the tape is, you know, a little shoddy. But, and I did give like the pinch roller, you know, I applied rubber renew to prevent the tape from riding up. I mean, this would be a thinner stock tape stock, so if your pinch roller is worn a bit, that could indicate that the I mean, if your pinch roller is worn and the tape stock is thinner, then it could just be riding up a little bit. But I mean, it's not riding up to the point where it's losing the control track, because it's keeping in the mark on Beta 3, and I'm not hearing the audio like give out. So and also I'm noticing that if I listen closely, there is more of a buzzing noise inside. And when I was even in the shed yesterday, I wasn't entirely sure if like the tape was riding up against a guide or something. I didn't see too much like you know, crease in the tape, if any at all. So it might just be my imagination. I'll have to ask like my beta pals what their opinions are. Yes, me trying to fight the track. This is something that I would like to get up on YouTube to some, you know, extent. I know a previous sporting event that I had uploaded, YouTube did not, well, certain copyright, quote-unquote copyright holders did not take kind to that, even though I know there was no way that they would be willing to share the footage themselves in high quality. So, whatever. That was Beta 3. Here is the alignment tape, obviously, because my inclinations towards, like, you know, the electronics of things, any alignment tapes or discs, I'm obviously on the hunt for. And that was a nice Facebook Marketplace find from Florida, and the guy was willing to ship that to New Jersey. So, I have it on the this one is non-Hi-Fi, and does not have a Beta 3 section. It just has Beta 2 and Beta 1. This is the Beta, on the second half of the tape is Beta 1. It's the same stuff. It has the color bars. It has another test, which I'm still not sure. I don't know if it's the dihedral test or what. Oh no. This one, the PCM switch being on should show more dropouts. Yeah. Ooh, good. Ooh, God. Look at that. Ugh. And that's it off, and there's still a lot of dropouts. Oh. And do I still have the tracking at Unity? Because when I was in the shed yesterday, this one wasn't tracking that well. No, I do have it. Okay. Yeah, obviously it's uber sensitive and bigger one. If I were to show you the real, if I had the player open, I had the, you could see the reels. You can see that it's moving at a pretty decent pace. But yeah, that's showing that this one can do beta 1 pretty well. All things considered. The speed seems to be... Whoa, what the hell is that? What the hell is that? Okay. Did you see that? It just flashed like it was an emergency broadcast. Like, geez, is that where they got this from? Alright. And if you're curious what's... This one seems to be a hookup guide. Because it shows you how to hook things up to your TV. This one had like a funny illustration. Where can I find it? Wasn't it like at the front? Did I miss it? Oh yeah! Man, this guy really doesn't know how to hook his VCR up. Poor guy. And this is the general manual. And obviously this is in Japanese. And I just never... Even though I took a year long course in college, sophomore year, I still wouldn't have been able to read that. But that's all I wanted to show you, just show that this unit does exist. If you find it on the Japanese auction sites, and that's my stomach growling, because I have yet to eat today. This is one I do recommend. I still haven't sat down to watch like a whole movie yet, so maybe maybe I should wait for full appraisal until I actually sit down to watch a movie. But so far, it doesn't seem to be giving me any major problems. If I just cleaned the inside of the unit yesterday in the shed, but even before then, it was like still like 100%. So I'm really happy with my purchase, and now I'll be running all my non-Hi-Fi tapes through this, as well as the Hi-Fi tapes, in the hopes of finding another linear stereo track. I only know the Creepshow release from Warner Brothers. That's like the only other tape I know that has a linear stereo track. I don't know what else would. But that's just going to be a thrill of the hunt. So, until next time, thank you for watching.